Oh god. Oh, No! We were muted.
So we were on time.
We were on time.
You might not have been able to hear us, but we were actually on time.
I don't think you can replicate how perfect that intro was as well.
It was so good.
It was the best we've done so far.
It was, and we were so on time, and we've got people
and
interfering. No, we're live. Thanks. Well, anyway, welcome to Hot Dice Stream of the Warhammer 40k Season 4.
Yeah.
I thought that was Taylor knocking to go.
Yeah.
It started.
Yeah, I did think baby on the way then.
Yeah, we are touch and go. We can't be too long in case Taylor goes into imminent pregnancy. But anyway, thanks everyone for joining us. What was I saying? The original intro was Ben's gonna.
We're on time.
We're on time.
Yeah, season
we
4.
Were.
Season 4.
And I can't think what else you said. So
and I just said Ben's going to take us on and introduce us about the league.
Yeah, so the good news is we had 36 players this season, so we've continued our trend year on year of increasing the player count, so which is great to see.
It is.
We've got a lot of new blood again this year, 6 players who have joined for the first time.
Great.
We've got a couple of players who have returned after missing season 3, so it's great to see people jumping in.
Good. They've obviously seen the excitement from the last 2. All of this bullshittery that we do here and on the tables, and wanted to get involved, so I'm really pleased with that.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see it still growing. I think people have been certainly the last few weeks really keen to get started. I think we saw today the draw was planned for tomorrow, but I think by popular demand we've pulled it forward because people just want to get on. So
drag me away from the bar.
Yeah, well, yes, literally dragged you away from the bar.
Adam's only had 1 bottle of wine.
It's just I'm jonesing.
Yeah, so I think from a logistical point of view, a few changes this year. So again, by popular demand, we've extended the league.
Yeah.
So for the past 3 seasons, we've run at 6 rounds, and I think based on the feedback survey we sent to everybody, we've extended it to 8 rounds this time. So an extra 6 weeks in the league, which I think is great. Yeah. Gives everyone more of a chance to play a few more people.
Yeah, and also previously it was an escalation league, so we start at 1,000 points, but this time we've decided to go for 2,000.
Yeah, right? Straight into 2,000, and again, it was the most popular choice when we went out to the previous players and people looking to play the league. I think people enjoyed the idea of the 1,000 points games, easier to put your list together, easier to start, but then very quickly that there is a lot of there's some imbalance at 2,000. 1,000 is even worse. Yeah. That there really is some armies that just can't compete. So I think 2,000 makes the most sense. Because of that, we've relaxed the painting score again. Yep. So no painting score until round 3, which I think was a happy compromise between.
Not sure about happy. It was a compromise.
get your army ready. Give it a few more weeks.
Yeah. So the format of the videos normally. That we have an introduction to the mission that we're going to be playing, so we always roll for the first mission, so we randomise it out of a selection of 8, we talk about that mission briefly, and then we go straight into the draw and we go through it. We're going to go from the what's changed this time? Have you seeded them?
So yeah, a couple of small changes just in terms of how the first rounds work. So we've seen in previous seasons some of our initial top players draw each other round 1 when we're at 1,000 points, and I think some of the disappointment in the league is that kind of rules those people out from playing each other. So this season we've seeded the top 10 players from last league, so the top 10 have been seeded, which means they will avoid each other round 1. But because we're playing 8 rounds this time and it's winners play winners, they will eventually meet 8 of the top 9.
There's no avoiding it.
There's no avoiding it. There's enough rounds that everyone will play everybody in that top half, which you think is a good way, and it also gives everybody the opportunity to play a varied list of opponents. So that's one slight change. We have a slight change in terms of the mission pack. So you'd have noticed we haven't sent out a mission pack for the 8 rounds this time. That's because of the pending slate and card deck change next week,
which is going to be big.
Yeah. So we're going to play round 1 on the old mission pack on Prime Nexus, and then mission rounds 2 to 8, which will start in 3 weeks' time, will be on the new mission pack. So we're resumed to Adam rolling the worst map each week. As we move forward.
I have one job.
Great, and Barry in chat says 8 games of 2K is going to develop new players so much, including myself. So it's excited, and I'll be reviewing the chats briefly as we go. So yeah, please, if you have any questions, just put them in there.
Great point, actually. Just to finish on that, one of the other biggest piece of feedback we had about 1K, and I think we all experienced this, is that actually for a lot of the missions, the game was harder.
Yeah.
Definitely.
1,000 points, and for new players, while it seems like 1,000 points is better, quite a few actually struggled to get the head round the scope of the game and the size. So.
Yeah, we've had this conversation a lot, and I think 1,000 points is a great number to actually play at when you're trying to develop your skills, because it's so punishing. One mistake at 1,000 points messes up your entire game. And I think, starting at 2,000 points, coming down for 1,000 points for learning games, when you get more developed, I think you learn a lot more.
Absolutely. And obviously we've seen in the new mission pack, GW have obviously recognised that, because they've reduced the amount of rules in the 1,000 point games. They've changed the rules around number of units you can take, rule of 2.
Yeah.
So I think it just helps justify the decision that it was the right thing to do. So I guess move swiftly on. Let's get the map drawn, and then we can move into who's playing.
My one job.
Don't fuck it up.
Just for context, guys, there's 3 missions. The missions we played at the last RTT.
Yeah.
Those lovely booklets that some of you have seen. We are picking one of those 3 missions.
Just keep him rolling this one before Adam rolls this dice. Once we've finished with this one, we've had the updates. We'll make some new ones up when we add them.
Yes, we will.
Right.
We will.
Okay.
You can roll.
I'm almost there.
Will you roll it already?
It's a 1.
It is a 1. So mission 1.
Let me bring
At least
that
I'm
up.
consistent with my rolls.
Mission 1. Let's bring it up. It is.
Excited to see what.
Let's have a look. It is round 1. Take and hold. So there's a booklet here. Oh, there you go. I've got that. So take and hold. Search and destroy. So it's very simple.
I don't know why I started. It's number 1, and I started flicking through pages.
So it's a really good one actually to kick us off, because it's the easiest one to understand. It's holding any objective marker on the table gets you 5 victory points, primary points, and you can only score up to 15. So it's a very simple one to get us started. Search and destroy is quite brutal.
Especially with 4 no man's land
hidden
objectives.
supplies.
So there's lots of objectives up for grabs. It does tend to favour combat armies, this one, so shooting armies maybe have to be a little bit cagier, but there's a lot of staging points. As you can probably see, you can actually see my mouse. Look at that.
Technology.
Looking at this one, obviously staging points in here, but there's nowhere really safe to be, so it's going to be hard, this one. It's quite a punishing one.
Yeah, those big ruins in the middle as well give you an awful lot of cover inside from the shooting lane. So, but a good mission. I think some armies can hit all 4 objectives turn 1 in no man's if they really want to. So,
everyone's just happy it's not Terraform. Me too.
As long as I don't get Barry again, because he beat me on this map at the RTT.
Well, we shall hope. Well, I'm pretty sure we'll probably see Terraform make a return in the new mission pack with the tweaked rules. You can unform an objective, so I think we'll look forward to
if it is in the mission pack, I'm sure I will roll it for every single mission.
Great. And so, without further ado, Ben, will you lead us?
Perfect. So, I think you mentioned we're going to do things a little bit different this time. So we're going to begin the draw from our 18th pairing up to the top pairing. So we're going to start with our unseeded players. So that group of 26, and work out from there. We have done a bit of a brief list analysis, and Adam has the list details in front of him. So I think we're trying to have a brief discussion, move forward. So with no further ado, the first pairing is Martin Bolton on his Astra Militarian. Militarian Martin, as he's self-proclaimed himself.
And here it is on the screen for everyone at home.
And he will be playing Michael Brown, who has made a return to 40k.
Oh, fantastic.
Dusted off the Necrons again, so it'd be good to see Michael back in the game.
And Martin, new returning player, newish player coming into Martin Bolton. Martin's a lovely player to go into as well, so I'm sure that'll be a nice game for them both.
Is Martin's list the same from the RTT? I think 8 tanks.
That's a lot of tanks.
A lot of tanks. Dawn Commander, Lehman Russ Commander, that's going to hit hard. But yeah, Mike on his Necrons seems to be all round lists. And yeah, good to see him back at the table. It's been a while. He's been messing around with this bolts action game, which I don't quite understand. It sounds a bit like a bolt gun, but yeah.
And he's playing Martin Bolton. So
yeah, there we go. It's bolts all round.
Just link there. Yeah. But no, it should be a good game. So great to see Michael back. Martin obviously has become a regular on the competitive scene as well.
Indeed,
recently attending the last few tournaments in the RTT. So
both really nice guys. I can't recommend them both.
Great. Next one, please, Ben.
Right. So our next pairing is James Larkin making a return on his Leagues of Votan.
Nice.
Into Logan Healy. So Logan joining the league for the first time on the first of our very, very many Death Guard players.
One of 6.
Yes, so James into Logan.
Yeah, excellent. Which should be interesting. James is playing a very well-rounded, I think, Votan list. There's not many ways you can play Votan. Yeah. So that should be really interesting and a really good game for both of them, especially with Logan just coming into the game as well.
Yeah,
excellent.
Good pairing. This is a great pairing. This is a recent rematch. So our next pairing is the Bearded Steve, as he's now affectionately known, into the Gruesome Twosome Jack and James. Ooh. So this is almost a like for like rerun, I think, of the Team Gauntlet that we played recently. Steve does have a slightly more optimal list this time, however. He doesn't have the 4 big knights. I'm pretty certain it's Rex and an awful lot of armigers. Yeah,
it seems that way. I believe Steve has actually changed his name by default to actually Bearded Steve. His last name is now Steve. But yeah, into Jack and James, that should be really fun. I think they've given people, especially in the last league, a lot more trouble than people expected. They are a really good pair.
They are good pairs.
I really, really, really want to draw into them. I really want to play them.
Has Steve gone for the mass armigers?
It's the biggest armiger list you can run with Rex. So it's bringing an assassin and some Imperial agents, supporting Rex and 10 armigers, I think it is, 10 or 11. So it's a heavy list, but Jack and James do tend to pack quite a lot of anti-armour. There's they've got a Lancer in there, they've got Calgar, they've got Gurley Man, they've got lots of Stern Guard vets, they've got the firepower to deal with knights, as Steve found out last time. So that should be a good game.
I'm going to read directly off this like I know what this means, but they've not got a Vindicator in sight.
Based on recent, the standard Ultramarine Gladius list you tend to see.
Yeah.
Right, so next up is Simon Jones on his Chaos Demons. Now, this was a very varied demon list. I think there was kind of like a bit of every single god in there from memory. And he's playing Matthew Elliott, who is the second of our Death Guard players.
Ooh. We have got a lot of Death Guard. Mr. Elliott, just trying to find that.
That's a nice.
Veteran builds, Plague Burst Crawlers, Holders with drones, and if anything taught me of my match last week against our beloved Reese, I want to throw drones out any window anywhere near me.
They are good.
They do hit incredibly hard for the points value.
Yeah.
So I think most of our Death Guard lists we are seeing an awful lot of them and Haulers. So pretty standard build as it stands. New Death Guard, we've got quite a few of our Death Guard players playing different detachments as well.
It's good to see.
It's quite nice to see some variation.
It's nice to see that codex has come out and there is more play than just one list, which is what we've seen with quite a few codexes that have come out.
Yeah, and I should say, just for clarity, because this could happen next week, this round is played on the current data slate. Yeah. So as a T-Suns player, I'm on old index. The codex isn't yet legal.
Okay.
Any points changes next week won't be applied to this round because lists have been submitted. So just bear in mind, guys, it is the current data slate before Death Guard get the appropriate points that I'm sure we all think they deserve.
Okay. I'm sure the rest of the
right.
Draw are looking forward to
next up is Barry Betts on his Eldar. So Barry has returned back to the Eldar again after a brief stint on Space Wolves and
Mr. Barry into,
and he's playing Steve Davis, and the Pretty Knights have made a return.
Oh, good, good.
Pretty Steve on the Pretty Knights.
I'm glad we can make that definition again between Bearded Steve and Pretty Steve.
I haven't
I
seen
love
Pretty
those
Steve
knights
for a while.
He's been playing upstairs recently. He has popped his head in a few times, but yes, it's another Imperial Knight Rex heavy list. But he's gone for a Rex and a Paladin.
I was just saying that.
Slightly different approach, but Barry just has the pretty standard fire dragons, spiders, swooping hawks, banshees,
which are going to hit, but can not Pretty Steve turn off cover, which is going to hit Eldar quite hard. A little free up. Toughness
got the emulator there to switch off. I don't think you really need it necessarily into Eldar, but Barry will hit him very hard. And having experienced this matchup myself a couple of times recently, the Eldar can pick up.
I'm needing lots of beer and cigarettes to do the tech on the side of this one. My intern is selfish.
She went and got herself pregnant, didn't she?
She got herself pregnant,
yeah.
And she's on maternity, which frankly, who came up with that idea?
I know. You just can't get the stuff.
So anyway, moving on to the next one.
Right, next matchup is Paul Sheard. Now, Paul has... Maybe I'd be interested to know whether he's just not happy with the new World Eater Codex, but Paul has maintained his current run on Sisters. So we'll be playing Sisters in the league, which is good to see because I think it's our only Sisters representation. So
and they should get a buff in the data slate.
Yeah. The expectation is they will see some love for round 2 onwards. And he will be playing Simon Payne, who is the third of our Knights players out the hat. So Simon playing the tried and tested Rex, 9 Armigers, Calidus, Immolator, Sticky Sisters, very, very solid.
So what's interesting about this process is I didn't know what, and everyone didn't know what the lists were, what people were going to be bringing for this first round.
Yeah.
So people could have been like, okay, there's 1/6 of the field is Death Guard. I better spec a little bit for Death Guard, but they haven't done that.
Yeah, and I think it was nice. That's why we kept that behind Dodge, because if you know there's going to be 7 Knights and 6 Death Guard, maybe you play a bit differently. But I think the point of the league is you play your list, you learn your army. So that'd be a great matchup. That one, Sisters into Imperial Knights. Next up is Mike Darby on his World Eaters. So Mike will be taking the new Codex for a spin.
That looks like all the 8-pound as well.
Yeah, I remember this having basically every single 8-pound you can pack into a list from memory.
Sounds like Mike.
Well, they both come up at the same time on here. Sorry, Ben. So, and he's going into.
He's going into Andy Edmondson. So Andy on his Ultramarines.
Nice.
And, again, a Calgar and
Girly Man. Double
list,
Vindicator.
But double Vindicator, which the 8-pound really won't like.
They will not like that.
No, but they are better technically into vehicles.
Yeah.
So am I thinking that right? Am I getting that right?
I'm hoping he's got some flamers, because World Eaters do not like flamers.
No, the anti-vehicle is good on the World the 8-pound now, but obviously that strength 14 double fist used to be good into anything. Now it's perhaps not as good into all the Death Guards, T7 Terminators you're going to hit. I'm not sure.
But that Gladius, Andy's well practiced in it now. It's got the tools to deal with anything. So let's see. Good luck, gents.
Next up, again, 2 common armies here. It will be Sam. So Sam Lindsay making his first appearance in the league.
Great.
So,
welcome, Sam.
Again, another one of our new players. Also on Death Guard.
Yeah, indeed.
And we'll be playing another one of our new players, Phil Evans, on his Imperial Knights. Phil has, I think he's taken Rex again. I mean, he's pretty much has to be in every Knight's list.
Castellian makes an appearance.
Yes, the first, actually, Phil, new player, marking his first appearance. I think this is the first time we have seen a Knight Castellian or Castilian.
I like them.
In the actual league match. I don't think it's been run before, so it's good to see. We used to call them the big Knights. I mean, they
keep getting bigger.
Yeah. There are a lot bigger ones now, but good to see.
GW and Scale Creep. I don't know what you're on about.
Yeah, so
you seen the new Horus Heresy?
Sam into Phil should be a good game for both of them. A nice entry game into the league.
Yeah, lovely.
Next up, okay, this one's an interesting tie. Matt Jones on Chaos Demons. Into Nick Mag on his Custodes. So that is quite a big tie. I mean, Custodians doing what they were born to do, kill demons.
Are they good at it though?
Well, interestingly, Nick has also, for the first time in a while, from what I've seen, taken a lot of his Wardens out. He normally runs the 2 or 3 big boxes of Wardens.
Is he actually running Custodes?
Nick is on Custodians, yeah. He is running.
I thought he was
I
going
thought he was on.
He is stuck true and tested with the Orc Custodes. Double grav tank, Vigilant Squad Assisters, which I've not seen. I think he's got something up his sleeves.
Okay, interesting.
Lots of guard.
I would have thought he would have brought his Salamanders out. He's been playing them a lot recently. The club.
Yeah, those grav tanks have the potential to hurt the Chaos Demons.
They do.
Lots of volume of fire. So Matt playing his normal 17 great run clean ones that he tends to run.
And they're well matched as well.
It's a really good matchup, that one.
So that's
Matt is playing his Plague Legion, lots of G-Rows, really lots of play bears, very, very tough to break down. And on a mission like Take and Hold.
Yeah, if you can sit there and hold.
Could be interesting.
Okay. That's a really interesting one. I like
It's a good challenge.
That's one to watch.
That is one to watch. And talking of one to watch, we do need to discuss stream games.
We'll have to do that.
We'll make a return of live stream games as well, but we'll touch on that afterwards. Next up, the self-named Rhino Reese. He has just accepted the fact now that is his name. So Rhino Reese on Death Guard. We'll be going into Lee Hughes on Black Templars.
Black Templars do not want to go into Death Guard.
It's a 30 Crusader list that Lee is running. Lots of big blobs of Crusaders.
-1 to hit, -1 toughness.
It's got a couple of tanks in there. I mean, everything's a nasty matchup into Death Guard at the moment.
It is.
We're
all just going to have to suck on it for a little bit. Death Guard will be getting hit this slate, I'm almost certain of it.
One thing we do need to mention, just from a rules perspective, Reese has intentionally not put a Rhino in his list.
Yeah, I was just about to comment.
So, as his Rhino won't be deployed, it does technically count as being destroyed.
First turn.
So, just to be clear, Reese, you have still had a Rhino destroyed. There's no getting away from it.
That's a record. I don't think he's ever lost one before a game before.
No. He's come close a couple of times, but yes, it's a legal ruling. Your Rhino has been destroyed in deployment. Next up, our very own Mr. Stunnart.
Oh shit!
Adam on his, and he has actually.
I brought my Tyranids.
I thought we might have seen the Votan.
I was very tempted with the Emperor's Children, but after all the moaning last league and everyone ribbing me, I thought the Nids needed to come out and have a play. Obviously, for legal reasons, I'm having to play before the data slate when they really buff me and get really good. But yeah, we've got the Nids out. It's a bit of a funny list. I didn't want to take.
Come on. Who's he playing?
He is playing Matt Hughes.
I'm coming for you, Matt.
This is a battle that I think has been played a few times. There's a good bit of banter between the two of them. Matt turning out for the league again, which is great to see, and he has taken a whole war host of orcs into the Nids.
My Raveners are going to nobble down his knobs.
So, I mean, it's from a lore perspective, the traditional enemy, Nids into orcs, fantastic matchup.
I've been helping Matt write his
If I lose, it's your fault, man.
Yeah. I'm happy with that.
Josh's already meddling in the opponents he's worried about. Up to his old tricks again. Cool. Right, so on to our next matchup. And it's another entry by the Orcs. This time it's James Wright. Playing Ian Rogerson on his Emperor's Children.
Well, that's an interesting matchup.
That should be indeed.
I'm curious to see how Emperor's Children go into Orcs. I assume if it's mass, I don't know what's in this Orcs list actually.
It is a war host list.
Yeah.
So Warhorde.
Yeah.
So again, lots of boys, lots of knobs, a couple of trucks.
Macca, Gazgul, two paint boys, 3 war bosses, lots of boys, some trucks, some battle wagons, some flash kits, some Gretchen. Absolutely. I think the problem here is those streams. I think Ian getting hard and fast, he's going to be unstoppable once he gets his buffs.
Okay, so Ian hard and fast into the knobs and boys.
Yeah.
Okay. That's one to watch out for. Those noise marines will like going into orcs.
Yeah, they will. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
I'm not going to make another knob joke.
Too many.
Yeah, too many.
Next up, Nathan Evans on Eldar, and he's. I think I called this the list of cheese.
Yeah. Sea Council filth, Hawk grenade spam. this list has more cheese than a dairy farm.
Yeah, lots of naughtiness will be going on from Nathan here, and he'll be playing into Toby, another one of our new players.
Poor Toby.
Sorry.
He will be on a very solid Space Marine, Gladius, Ultramarine list.
Okay, good.
That definitely have the potential to kill those pesky hawks.
Yeah. There seems to be a lot of flamers in there, so if he can flame the hell out of those hawks as they come down and stop him grenade spelling, maybe. I don't know.
To some extent, yeah. Obviously, Eldar can turn off the Overwatch.
I was going to say, if only they couldn't turn off the Overwatch every time they moved.
I forget about that, and I hate it every time.
Well, you know, obviously the spirit of the league, it's all played by intent. You know, you don't want any gotchas or anything like that. So I'm sure Nathan's going to give him a good, clean game. He's a new player. We want to introduce him in good spirit into this league.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
okay.
Good game.
Yeah.
Right, next up is myself playing Index T-Sons, because the new codex isn't actually live in time.
Right.
And I'll be going into Phil Roberts, and Phil, again as a little surprise, has switched to World Eaters.
Ooh.
So
I've not seen one
he's borrowed, I think, some of Greg's,
yeah, that makes sense.
his brother's army. He fancies a bit of a change. I think Sisters have been in not the best spot recently.
That's fair to say.
I did see Phil. I think he's been throwing a few decoys. He turned up with Tau on Thursday. I think it was
I did see that.
throw us into a false sense security. Now he's turned up with World Eaters.
I viewed him a little less, to be honest, when he turned up with those Tau, but you can't hold everything against someone, can you?
Yeah, I mean, this is a interesting matchup for me, because previously T-Sons into World Eaters, I would have seen as a decent matchup. It was a lot of death wound output, can deal with them before they get into combat. The new World Eaters, though, suddenly have learnt how to shoot their guns. So
they were always pointing them in the wrong direction.
Yes, yeah, interested to be a good game. I've not played into new World Eaters yet, so hopefully it won't be as painful an experience as playing into the new Empress Children experience I had last week. So that should be a good one.
I can't imagine someone playing Emperor's Children though. It's such a cheesy, hard list. Who's the next matchup?
It's horrible. So next matchup, Jordan Davis on Emperor's Children into Nick Jones on Space Marine. So another Gladius, I believe it's Gladius Ultramarine Gurneyman list. Into Jordan and his Emperor's Children. Lots of Demon Princes and Dead Wounds to watch out for. I think is the backbone of Emperor's Children. But strong army, Space Marines, if anyone can deal with it again, solid shooting, movement, should be a good game.
Yeah, it should be.
Okay, and now we're into the top three.
So on to our top three. So representing obviously our the top four was our seeded players from last league. The next one is Fernando himself has maintained his current stint on Blood Angels. So the Tau have been laid to rest temporarily, which I think a few of us will take
no
a sigh
Tau
of
in the league
relief.
this time.
This is the first season there has been no Tau.
Small blessings.
Which
interesting.
I think everybody will take pleasure in.
Yeah, they should be getting a buff in the data slate. I've heard some good rumours. So.
Yeah, they're probably going to be incredible now. So thank God. And he will be playing Mr. Naismith, so Rich, the King of Banter, on his Death Guard. And this has been interesting, because I think Rich himself will say that on the new Codex, he's found, I think, a way to play that he enjoys. It's more suited to his style, and he's been knocking out some very strong results. So I think that'll be a really interesting matchup. I don't know how well Blood Angels go into Death Guard. I think still the +2 strength. They're probably one of the few armies that can get around that T7.
But it's for sure they get the +2 strength. Yeah. But again, Death Guard are usually a pretty good stat check into those pressure melee lists. Yeah, so that's going to be tight, I think.
It's a great game. Blood Angels into Death Guard.
That could be one to watch.
Yeah, more drones than you can utilise at an Amazon distribution warehouse, apparently.
Absolutely. I think there was 3 bloated drones, 3 of the other drones, 3 blight haulers. Awful lot of drones going on. Second, but not last.
Perfect sentence.
Perfect sentence. Yep. I think I'm breathing all this out.
We're all getting pissed off Adam.
Josh Burns, and Josh has thankfully put down the Eldar, but not thankfully gone for Space Wolves, which from the looks of them are going to be an absolute terror.
They are going to be very powerful.
So Josh has dropped onto Space Wolves. Some changes to his list we noticed.
What's that?
on Josh's list. He's playing Chris Hughes on his Chaos Demons.
Well,
what's in Josh's list? Is it the classic Wolf Riders, Vindicators, or
there was double Vindicator,
okay.
Which I personally don't think I've seen Josh play before. I've normally seen a couple of cheeky little ballistuses in there, lots of fun to have. But no, he's moved to a lot of Wolf and then some Vindicators.
It gets tricky, right? Because Ballistus went from 125 to 140. And 140 is getting dangerously close to that 185 mark for Vindicators, and when you're looking at it, you're like, I think I'd rather have
switch,
a Vindicator.
Find the extra points, and it's into Chris, who's on his Demons this season, and he is playing. I do like the Shadow Legion.
With Be'lakor, Bloodthirsters.
Yeah, he's got all the big boys. Be'lakor, I think Rotigus is in there. Lord of Change. A really thematic. All the demons come into play, which would be great. And then I'm sure they both worked it out. Our last pairing is the match of the remaining Joshes. So when all three Joshes come out last, it is our very own Mr. Townley. He has returned to the Eldar, which I think for all of us is a sad day.
It is a sad day.
I'm not like
the problem I've got with Josh return to his Eldar is he's abandoned his principles. He's probably got some of those clown boys in there, some of those ones that are working with the humans and stuff like that. He's just abandoned all principles. Eldrad is rolling in his grave. Eldrad is dead, right?
No, he's crystalline, but no, he's not dead. I think it would be nice to play Josh again, because we played at the Teams event actually, and he'll be happy to know I'm not running the horrible kill all your demons in the first turn. It's a bit more of a balanced list.
We turned 2 this time.
Yeah, and I was very sick and probably a little short that game, so I'm really hoping to have a nice experience with Josh from my perspective. I was being a bit of a dick. So.
What's the better Josh brought? These demons, that bit of every god.
Again, it was another demon list with a greater unclean one, and there was a bloodthirster in there, I think, and a Rotigus and some blood crushers, and just again an all round. I think demons, remarkably, despite supposedly being squatted this edition or not having a codex, have more ways to play than some armies.
They're great.
Some really good options and lots of big boys that are performing very well. Yeah,
and I've got lots of anti-infantry in my list, which is going to be completely useless.
Yeah, do nothing.
Yeah, so that's great.
Guys.
I can't think of a better matchup.
So there we go. That is the draw for round 1. The draw will, the D-Side Defenders website will update in the normal link later this evening with the full draw on there. One change this season that everyone should have seen is you have been added to a League Season 4 WhatsApp group. Please use that to organise your fixtures. We've done that this season just because some of the feedback again we had is that new players might not know where to find each other. The WhatsApp group has about 1,000 messages a day, and it's hard to miss. So please do use the new group to organise your fixtures. Rich in particular has been warned, no banter. Banter is banned from that group. Just fixtures, please. And you'll also find in the description of that group the link to log your league results.
Yeah, I am trying to get the results up on there, but it's not working. So actually, maybe
it will be published. You will receive access to your opponents' lists tomorrow. So we will make the public version of the lists. Just triple check all the links are working. And then that will go out tomorrow in the league group for everybody, so you can see each other's lists, begin to arrange your fixtures.
Let me see if I can get this to work.
Yeah, and remember, rules as always.
That's better.
Check your opponent's list, make sure you're happy with it, make sure there's no errors. Ben does a fantastic job of checking all of them, but after you've checked them, send them to Josh and then ask how you beat it. I think that's now customary.
I can't get this to work. Okay. Damn, where's my intern?
I say, just if you visit the D-Side Defenders website later this evening, the fixtures will be on there. Yeah. I'll put the link in the chat. You have until the 15th of June to play your round. There's a 3-week round still, so you do have 3 weeks to complete the game. Right. Again, we do suggest you try and play it in week 1 or 2. We say it every season, people wait till week 3, something comes up. The league does move on if you've not fulfilled your fixture. it will be ruled into your opponent's favour.
It goes okay. So how does that work then in those shows?
Yeah. So the way we run the league is that we are playing WTC scoring.
Yeah.
So you'll submit your WT score at the end of the game. If both players have been unable generally to make a game and it's equal fault, generally we will try and rule the game as a draw.
Okay.
We don't like to see that. We really want to get people playing the games. That's the idea. The more draws we have in the obviously non-played fixtures, the worse it is. If you are just unable to play and you've made it very difficult for your opponent will be awarded a 20-0 win. Very simple this season. If it's one player's fault, i.e. you wait till week 3 and then can't make the fixture, that's just how it is. That's the rules. It will be awarded to your opponent unless it's of equal fault.
And I guess we forgot to mention actually, the prize of course is to take the bolter away, which is actually, if you can see past Adam's shiny dome.
I was wondering what it was.
Yeah, so for our new players, here is the Blessed Bolter. So this is our league trophy that is awarded to the league winner. Please somebody prize it from Josh's grasp because he's had it for
it's sickening.
It is
really
2 years now.
It's getting quite heavy, to be fair.
The amount of times I come round and he's just running around the house pewing with it, and it's just I'm fed up.
Yeah, so there is your again. The Blessed Bolter is on offer for the league campaign. Yeah, somebody, please, please.
Yeah, I'll throw my first game. How about that? There you go. That's why I lose.
How honourable of you.
Of it. He's already getting the excuses in this year. Already getting the excuses in Josh as to why he's not won the league.
Anyway, thanks to Ben for putting us all together. Thanks everyone for being involved. I can see the chat's nice and lively, active. Loads of people are tuned in. So we're going to do this every time, hopefully.
Yep.
If I can. You know,
yes, yeah. The plan again. The plan will be the draw will take place on the 16th of June on the Monday.
Yeah,
will be the intent. Again, if all fixtures are played early and complete, like we normally do, we always won't keep people waiting. If all fixtures are done after week 2, we are open to shifting and moving things around. So we'll be as flexible as we can.
Nice.
But the hard deadlines are in place. It's all in the rules pack. If you look at the pack that is on the website, it's got all the dates and times in, and the rulings on things like optional chess clocks and painted scores and things like that.
And if you've drawn Ben, I have a chess clock. Just message me before your game. I will bring it.
And I should say, Hot Dice is sponsoring the league, so they will be offering prize support at the end. One of those elite gaming mats or something like that.
Yeah,
for the
fantastic.
Winner.
Some good prizes.
Make sure there's some good prizes available, dice and that kind of thing. So, yeah, no problem. So, thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and do all that nonsense so you can see when we post the videos, when we post the live chats. And we will probably be doing codex reviews as the new ones come out, the data slate review. So that will be really good insight. Maybe the 3 of us could get together and we'll
look at that.
Pull through the data slate and see how that's going to impact our league. You know, that's going to be important, I think, moving forwards. And apart from that, thank you again.
Yeah, indeed.
All right, take care.
Let's go.